Here's the audience. My goal is to educate and inform people of the facts related to ADHD and the forms of treatment available to those that suffer from the disorder. Have you ever just felt off, like your thoughts were all over the place and that you constantly couldn't keep your focus on things, or that you were different from your peers? Almost as if there was a battle constantly happening in your mind that you have no control over? This is how people with ADHD can feel on a daily basis. Educating yourself on what ADHD is, its symptoms, and how it can be treated is important for all of us to know and understand. ADHD awareness is important to me because my little brother was recently diagnosed with ADHD combined type. It took a while for the official diagnosis, and during that time of waiting with no treatment, he really struggled with day-to-day activities. He was picked on by his classmates because he couldn't catch on to things and understand things as fast as they could. His inability to focus became his inability to learn. It was difficult to see him experience some of the things that he did at such a young age. I remember one time asking him why he had such a hard time getting simple tasks done at home, and he said, "Because when I try to think about things, my brain goes zoom zoom like a race car speeding around everywhere." This is when I realized he couldn't get the task done because he couldn't focus. Due to all of this, I made it my mission to educate myself on ADHD and become more of a help for them. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder. This specific cause is unknown. It is usually diagnosed in childhood, but it can also be diagnosed later in life as well. Someone suffering from ADHD may have symptoms such as inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. You may notice that the person can't sit still for very long. They can't keep things organized. They may excessively speak. They also may make careless mistakes, and so much more. There are many other symptoms that a person with ADHD may experience that are similar to the ones that I've discussed. There are an estimated 6.1 million American children aged 2 to 17 that are diagnosed with ADHD. This represents 9.4% of this age group nationwide. This is according to the Journal of Clinical Child and Adolescent Psychology. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, the number of adults aged 18 to 44 that suffer from ADHD is 8.1% nationwide. This may not seem like a huge number, but it will continue to rise. Now that I have provided you with some of the basic understanding of ADHD, here let's talk about the different types of ADHD. In case you're not wondering, this is what someone with ADHD might look like. There are 3 different types of ADHD. There's inattentive ADHD, impulsive/hyperactivity ADHD, and combined type ADHD. Inattentive ADHD is recognized by the lack of focus, frequent inattention to things, and disorganization. People with this diagnosis typically show no signs of hyperactivity or impulsivity. Impulsive/hyperactivity ADHD is one of the rarest forms of ADHD. They will show signs of restlessness and hyperactivity, and also fidgeting. They will not suffer from the inattentiveness. Combined type ADHD is exactly how the name sounds. It is a combination of symptoms of both types of ADHD all into one. This is the most common type of ADHD, and they will suffer from both types. Now that we know the different types of ADHD, let's get into the treatments. The first form of treatment is prescription medicine. They use stimulant and non-stimulant medications. Stimulant medication is the most common. They work on the chemical messengers within the brain that are vital to memorizing and attention. These medications include Adderall, Dexedrine, and Ritalin. They are fast-acting medications. Now, the non-stimulant medications do the same things, they just take longer to become effective. They're typically used when someone has a bad reaction or intolerable side effects to the stimulants. These medications include Strattera, Annuity, and Equilibra. The next form of treatment is cognitive behavioral therapy. This consists of attempting to replace negative behaviors with positive ones. This usually includes a parent or caregiver's participation. A therapist will attempt to teach children how to express themselves without being disruptive to others. It best works well in combination with medication. Now that I've discussed the basics of ADHD, my hopes are that it gives you a better understanding of the disorder. If you know someone that is affected by ADHD, don't ignore the signs. Always be supportive of the others and offer your understanding and patience. Thank you.